Okay, so at the end of part 4, I ran out of Phoenix Downs, and so that, coupled with the fact that I couldn't remember the sequence for the mag rotors, that kind of brought an end to my ability to be able to follow through with this game here. And I hadn't made a decision about what to do going forward. I kind of liked the idea of having the story that we were on continuing from that point. And so I ultimately did decide to do that. So basically what I did is I went back and checked my guide to find out my order for the mag rotors. And I kind of looked up to see what I missed, and mainly the big thing, excuse me, the big thing was I missed the Telstar at the Imperial camp, and that coupled with the fact that I spent almost all my money on dried meat when I first arrived in Mobilis just totally messed up my whole uh, financial structure. And that is a pretty big part of how this works. One way or another, money is used to really, when you think about it, money is kind of the key for a lot of this stuff. Gear that we buy, sure we find some stuff, but smoke bombs, there's a lot of stuff that money, especially in the world of balance, in the world of ruin, there's a lot of really good stuff, so you're less reliant on money, I guess, but in the world of balance, money plays a pretty big role, and I botched that pretty bad. So what I did is I played through up to the point of the mag rotors, and I put everything in order as far as my finances were concerned. The main difference, well, I have 8 Phoenix down. I give myself a minimum number of 8. I believe technically you could do it with 4. I mean, it would be theoretically possible to do it with 4, but I don't know that who knows, maybe I have, I don't know, but that would be an expectation that I wouldn't, I mean, there's no point in really going for that. I mean, that's brutal. It's bad enough the way it is. But anyway, so last night I started streaming, and I left off where I ended part 4. And basically I proceeded to lose about a dozen times. I got to the final boss only one time. So at the end of that, I was like, well, that wasn't very entertaining. So I deleted that, and I'm going to try it again tonight. So basically what's going on here is we've got a set number of experience that has to be consumed one way or another, and basically what I do here is Gao is alive at the end of every battle. There's 5 battles on the way to the boss. And what I do is I have Locke knocked out at the end of the odd number rounds, and I have Doma knocked out at the end of the even number rounds. And then at the end of round number 5, everyone has to be up and ready for the boss. The the second round can be a problem, but really the bottom line is that it's the fifth round that is tough. It's really tough. Um, there's primarily two strategies. There's the aggressive strategy, and then there's the more conservative strategy. I don't know which is, at the end of the day, the more successful strategy, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go with the aggressive strategy because I think by going with the aggressive strategy, we have something like realistically a 1 in 3 chance of winning the battle relatively fast. It might not actually play out to be 1 in 3, but actually it wouldn't. It would be less than that. I don't know what the exact number would be. The enemy will go twice, and if any of those attacks kill someone, then we're kind of wrecked. But if Locke gets to that battle and he's upright, he can stick around for a few rounds. He's only going to die if he gets one-shotted by fire 2. That will kill him. You know, if he's a single target, fire 2, that'll one-shot him. But that's the only attack that will hit him. And you know, it's been so long since I played this, my mind might just be fuzzy, or maybe I never noticed it before. But it seemed like the mag rotors were alternating between a physical attack and a magic attack, and it was consistent every time. So I can use that to my advantage a little bit too. I guess I should just be playing and talking at the same time rather than just letting the music play. But basically, that's where we're at here. So the first round is pretty basic. We just knock Locke out, and it's pretty simple and easy to do that without having any issues with the other players. The second round is a little bit more difficult. There are 2... Okay, well, we'll go on at a time here. So in this round, we have 1 mag rotor, and we need to knock Locke off. This is the round number 1. The odd number rounds have Locke knocked out, and the even number rounds have Doma knocked out. At this point, Gao pretty much just has to be a healer because I can't rage with him. It's not safe to try and rage with him. Because if something happens, because each one of these battles has to it has to end in a very specific way, or I have to reset. I mean, there is no way around that. That is set in stone. So that's part of what makes it such a challenge is, and now I have to waste one of my Phoenix Downs to bring him back, which is just, you know, whatever. But all right, what was my train of thought here? Oh yeah, you can't use Gao, who's your best attacker, until you feel confident that, yeah, we're just going to restart this. This is just not... Alright. So, there is a lot of RNG involved here. And as you're playing it, it just kind of... You develop a muscle memory for it. It's kind of a unique muscle memory. Than what you fight really anywhere else in the game. especially the way the battles have to play out. So Gao is alive at every battle, which means he eats half of the experience gained from each round. And then the other experience is split up between Doma and Locke. And so long as I didn't do anything wrong, what we'll see here is that we should get Setzer in level 6. And if we get Setzer in level 6, then I didn't do anything wrong. I don't think I've done anything wrong so far. I can't imagine. Me going back and rebuilding that removed that one battle that I had with Terra and Locke with the Lobo at the schoolhouse there in Narshi. But honestly, I don't even think that would have mattered. Okay, so he should be attacking with a physical attack next. And if he attacks, I don't know, it's kind of weird. There were times where Gao would get attacked and he would retort. So that was pretty strange. It wasn't consistent, but it happened a couple of times last night. And I do have some foggy memory of there being something. Oh, I should have been. Alright, yeah. I gotta focus on what I'm doing here. Alright, so Gao and... So Locke is down for round number 1. And... So what I try to do here is do... retort here and knock one of these guys out. If I can. So since he survived, I should, assuming that he gets hit, there we go. So that's what we want to do there. And hopefully we can get Doma knocked out here without too much trouble. And get Locke up and going. There we go. So I'm going to wait here. Since we have back and forth physical attack and fire. The next round is going to be physical attack. So let me think here. Next round is physical attack. I want Locke up on physical attack. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to heal him. And... oh, well, as long as he doesn't kill himself, this will work just fine. But so we're going to bring Locke back as soon as the Mega Rotor goes. And the next attack will be a physical attack. Hopefully Locke will survive the physical attack. If I can get him healed first, or like immediately, that will help. And then rage. So there we go. And he even blocked it. So the RNG right now on this try here is it's been a little bit more to my liking. Let's see if that can continue here. I mean, it doesn't always have to go your way to win, but if it goes your way, it makes life a little bit easier. That's definitely for sure. And then this round isn't that bad, because it's just the one guy. The biggest fear for this particular round, round 3 here, is that he might kill himself before you can get set up. Basically, if he just starts spamming Fire 2 on Gao, single target, he'll kill himself pretty quickly. So, that's pretty much the biggest worry on this one, because there's just the one guy. It's not that bad. Or that garbage right there, where he just... Alright. So the problem with Doma is he's so slow. He's so slow. Now, right now, it's just a coin flip on who gets hit. So we got lucky there. That's who we wanted to get hit there. And... Alright, so that should do it then for round 3. This one's not the worst. If you can get a retort here and knock it down to one guy right quick, then, you know, it's not so bad. But this one can be a pain. If you can't get retort down, then you gotta kind of wait a while. And the longer that each one of these battles drags on, the more dangerous it becomes, because they can kill themselves when you're not ready for them. So, alright, so what we're doing here is we're really just hoping that the next round when they use magic, that they don't single target Doma with fire. Alright, the multi-target thing, it's okay. I hope I didn't do that twice. Oh, how, man, that's some really bad luck there. That is really bad luck. Alright, well I know I cast retort on him before. Ah, crap. Well, so now we're kind of getting wrecked here. I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but we're going through our Phoenix Downs. And that starts to get really annoying. So, let me think here. I think what I'm going to do, and I should have done this right. Well, no, we're good. We're good. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to wait for one of them to kill themselves. That's pretty much the bottom line. As soon as that happens, then I'll just bring back Locke. And hopefully we can get him up, both of them up, before the battle ends. And maybe if we get lucky, see, that's the problem. If I don't get lucky, what am I? Wait. Oh, yeah, okay. If I get unlucky, I could die a whole bunch of times in round 5. That's what happened yesterday. Alright, so they're gonna do physical attack next round. And let me think here. I want them doing physical attack when it's the round that I bring Locke back. So I guess it's not really up to me. Whenever they kill themselves, I have to bring Locke back, but it would probably be best for me if it was when the next round is physical. And that's probably most likely anyway, because, really, um, because they're going to kill themselves with magic. So, um, yeah, that would actually be in my favor. Last night I had them crit me on one of those and it knocked me out. I got pretty frustrated with that. That was some garbage. This is dragged on long enough now, though, where I'm concerned that they could kill themselves in, one round of attacks. That's kind of oh good, he's out of magic. Well, that makes my life a whole lot easier. Now I can just wait. So if he runs out of magic, that means he's gonna go physical attack and then can't attack. So I'll wait for him to do his physical attack here, and then now I have a whole round to get Locke up. No, ideally, we wouldn't like to see this because this takes so long. But if the battle does get this far along and they haven't killed themselves, at that point, there's pretty little bit of excuse other than you're out of Phoenix Downs for you not to be able to set yourself up pretty good for the next battle. Now I kind of got to think here. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to risk the biscuit, and I'm going to just go right away with Marshall. And I'm going to use a Phoenix Down on Doma. And the hope is that that nobody dies. And that Wind Slash goes off twice. That's what we're hoping for. If that happens, then we're probably in a good spot to fight the boss. Well, I guess I could wait. Let's go right now. There we go. Now Wind Slash, bro. Ah, dude. See, now it's going bad. Now what's going to happen here is, oh, it's so bad. Now we lose. That's it. So now I just have to reset. There's my Wind Slash. One round too late. They're dead, but so am I. So that's pretty much what's going on here, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to continue with that aggressive strategy until I get through that battle. Because if I keep on flip-flopping back and forth, then I mean, if you guess right, then great. But I think you're better off just being consistent and just taking one strategy until it works. Now, I don't remember what I wrote in there because I also, in the spirit of this walkthrough, I kind of looked ahead to see what's up ahead, but I didn't read detailed stuff. I just kind of browsed to some of the more important moments. I forgot what my train of thought was now. Anyway, I did look ahead so that I would mainly not mess up my financial stuff anymore. But basically what's coming up next, yeah, we're not doing this, is honestly, after I get out of here and I get Setzer, it's probably the least fun part of the run. So we're in a low-level game, and we're in a speed game. as best as they can be combined, because in a low level game, you're you don't kill stuff as fast. So sometimes, especially the Magitech factory takes a long time. It's I can't imagine there's a segment of the game that's any longer than the Magitech factory. Um, but with the spirit of what's trying to be done, what I'm trying to do here is a low-level game first and foremost, and the speed is important, and that's the thing. That's one of the things one of the reasons why I guess I find myself really enjoying um, this challenge is that the low level game is etched in stone, and then the speed aspect of it is really what makes it challenging, because I mean, if you just go through and just beat the game, I mean, all you got to do is just not collect any experience, or I mean, you have to kind of manipulate the experience a little bit, but basically acquire the least amount of experience possible. I mean, what am I doing here? That's not the most difficult thing, it's not that hard to win these battles. I mean, this is a annoying spot, but it's not extremely difficult. I mean, there's a little bit of, I mean, I guess you have to execute. More so in the boss fights, I guess, than this kind of garbage. It is kind of garbage. It's so much RNG involved here. So much RNG with these Mega Rotors. I beat them the first try many, many, many times. But I will say, I have had more struggles than I recall having for a very, very long time. I've tried this quite a few times now without. I've been to the. I only made it to the boss one time. It's so weird. I must always make it to the boss. And then I figure, I guess I don't really remember if it's like a 2 out of 3 shot that you win the first try. Probably 2 out of 3 times against the boss. I just don't remember what I said about the Mega Rotor fight. But I'm pretty confident that if memory serves, that I did say I do kind of break it down into 2 percentages. Like, you have this many out of, say, 1 out of 3 chance to beat the Mega Rotors on the first try, and then another 1 out of 3 chance to beat the boss as well. So they kind of stack, and it is a spot in the game that can test your patience. If you get unlucky, if things go the way they're supposed to go, it's not that bad. I feel like I must be forgetting something, or something. It's like there's this gnawing feeling in my head, but I read through it, and I just, I don't see anything that I'm not doing right. But there must be something. Alright, so what is this, round 2? So lock has to be up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win this or not. The timing on this. Yeah, see this kind of crap here. Start losing Phoenix Downs and stuff like that. Wasting Phoenix Downs. Because the timing is off. And I hate that stuff. It just annoys me really, really a lot. And the only thing you can really do is, well, it's not so bad with Locke because he is pretty fast. And if I cast, if I'm not real slow on the Phoenix down, I can usually heal him before the Mega Rotor goes. But man, if they throw that Fire 2 single target, I mean, that's going to one-shot anybody except for Gao. And that is just a frustrating thing. Especially if it happens in succession. Like I say, there's just so much RNG involved here. Alright, so Locke needs to be dead here. Oh, at least it's helping the cause. Alright, so next attack will be magic. Alright, I'm gonna wait. I want to time this out just right. I don't want to waste any one of these. I mean, I want to win this on this round is what I'm saying. Well, if Doma doesn't get hit by the fire here, then we have a shot. Or fire too, I should say. There you go. Boom. It's like I freaking called it, like the thing is sentient or something. It's like the one thing that will wreck it, and I think the timing is going to be off now. So, what the heck? I must use dried meat. Well, that probably works in my favor because I didn't waste a Phoenix Down on bad timing. So, let's get this. Here we go. That should bring him back, and the next attack is going to be magic, which means that Gao is fine, but Doma needs health, and maybe he can survive Fire 1. Alright, so, this should end it. Alright, so that's the end of round 3. And round 4, Doma needs to be down, but I think this is just one Mega Rotor here. I think it's 1-2, 1-2-2. I guess I wasn't really counting, but I think that's what it is. No, I was wrong. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to hope. We're going to hope that we can get a retort kill here. Well, he'll survive that. Oop. Dang it, I didn't get it off fast enough. That sucks. Now we pretty much just have to wait. That really sucks, because I had the strat, and I don't know if I didn't do it quick enough, or if they were just faster than I could be. I don't know. Well, okay, so I just have to think here. This is no different than round 5, okay? So I will, oh no. I'm trying to talk myself into not using the aggressive strat in round 5. I know I have to stick with it at least 3 times in a row. Well, if I get that far. Hopefully I beat it on this try. That would be ideal. All right. You know, there's only one other point. There's only one other spot in this challenge that is extremely heavily RNG dependent and is annoying. And so that's not. Well, actually, there's three spots. Honestly, there's the Opera House, which we already beat, and then there's this, which I should have already beat. And then there's the Imperial Air Force, which, again, you know, if things are going your way, you can beat that in one round. First try. It's not that bad when it works out. But then there's other times where it just seems like, I don't know, like you just can't catch a break. Life is funny like that too. It's like baseball, you know. There's like the player's average, and then he'll have stretches of time where he's well above and well below his average, but at the end of the day, he kind of evens out to that. I think life is kind of like that too. And this RNG on these silly Mega Rotors. They're not really that difficult unless you're extremely underpowered. All right, so what am I doing here? We're in round number 4, so that means lock. And I should have probably waited because my timing's going to be off on that. I'm sure I'm going to be slow. So now I have to really get lucky, otherwise lock's going to die. I mean, like, super lucky. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe my timing wasn't that bad. But I still gotta get lucky because Fire 2 will wreck me. Alright, now, let's try this. And this, and, you know, part of me wants to just totally play conservative on this next one, but I'm gonna risk the biscuit. Alright, that's one. That's two. That's three. Uh-oh. Oh, dude, it was so close. So 4 things. I need to have 4 things happen. Basically in succession there. The wheel doesn't have to hit Gao both times. But it can't hit Doma. It's got to either hit Lock or Gao, and that's fine. The odds there are pretty. They're fine because the first one there's only going to be Lock or Gao out there, so you're good on the first one. The second one you got 2 out of 3 that it won't hit the. You know, you have 2 out of 3 that are in your favor there. So that's fine. I like those odds. Then they say it's a 50-50 chance that Marshall will be the attack that Gao does. Um, all right, let's go here. So you basically only have to flip the coin and get tails to come up twice. I mean, you know, that's all you got to do, because that's Marshall, and that's not that hard to do. Flipping a coin and getting the same result 2 times in a row is not that difficult a thing to do. So I am fine with those odds, especially if I have 5 opportunities to do it, or 3 opportunities to do it. I like my chances that my number will hit. And the more attempts with consistent the more attempts with the same strat in succession, I mean, that's working in your favor there. So, you know, this is my 3rd attempt here, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is number 3 tonight. So, if what I'm saying and what I believe to be the case rings true, then I should probably get to the boss on this. I got to round 5 both times. I got really close last time to winning. Really, really close. If they don't fire 2 lock right there, then we're good. Or if they don't single target fire 2 anyone other than Gao. I mean, I don't know what the odds are that they're going to cast fire 2. I don't know. I don't know if it's 50-50. It might very well be 50-50. So if it's 50-50, that they'll cast fire 2, I don't know what the odds are that it'll be multi-target or single target. I don't know if there's a second roll and it's 50-50 again. I don't really know. But if it is, then there would have to be a 3rd roll on a single target to who gets it. So that's a lot of rolls, man. I don't know what... I mean, we do a physical attack, and then you do a magic attack, which may or may not be fire 2. And if it's fire 2, it may or may not be single target. And if it is single target, it may or may not be to an undesirable target. So, I mean, there's a long road in the way of bad RNG that takes you to the point where fire 2 single targets the wrong guy. Because if there is a wrong guy on the field, it's either a 50-50 chance that it'll single target him, or it's a 2 out of 3 if you have everybody up. So that's part of why that 5, that last one is so challenging, because you do have to have all 3 of them up. You don't have the option. I mean, that's just not a thing. Okay, so this is round number 2. He's probably going to kill himself here. That hasn't happened yet. Okay, so he didn't. Alright, so Phoenix down, and this is what, round number 2? So Doma has to be down. And At least I hope it's 2, and I'm not totally, like, way off here. All right, so this is the end of number 2. All right. I don't know, maybe it's a premonition, or maybe it's nothing. There we go. Just like baseball, right? You hit the ball to one point on the field at one particular point in time, and it's terrible. You hit a ball at the exact same spot at a different point in time, and it is like, wins you the World Series or something. Just like with that Fire 2 single target business. Sometimes it's the worst thing ever, sometimes it's what you're looking for. It's just a matter of when does it happen. Alright. I'm okay with this. Alright, well, this is the end of 3. Wait, did that hit Gao and he did retort? I wonder how that works. Maybe it's with wheel. I don't know. That was weird. I don't know how that works. This happened a couple of times now. I don't hardly ever use retort, so it's not something. Wow. So actually, you know what? I thought they had 2 different physical attacks. It's not always just wheel. Okay, so there's 4 attacks that they can do. That'll kill him. See, that sucks. Well, now we have to wait. And I get to have that gnawing idea in my head that, well, dude, you were able to be down to, low points in health, and just, it was you, Gao, and the 2 Mega Rotors, and you came back and you won, and you were perfectly fine. You can totally do that against round 5, right? that's the inner disagreement, I guess, I have on this. But I'm going to stick with the strat. I'm just going to go straight ahead and be aggressive, and I feel, this is try number 3, right? So let's see if it wins on this 3rd try. Hopefully it does. Alright, and Phoenix down, and this is round 4, so Doma has to be down. And let's hope that my timing is good on that. I think it was pretty good. Yeah, I wish that Gao would start doing stuff like that more. I wish all of them would start doing stuff like that more. All right, here we go. Round number 5. Let's hope that the aggressive strat plays. I wasn't using the aggressive strat last night and it wasn't working, so I'm going to try the aggressive strat tonight and hope it works. Well, he didn't use... There we go. Let's go. Come on, Gao. Oh, dude. Really? You're gonna hang me out to dry like that, Gao? Alright, that's probably the best thing that could happen right there. Ah! Alright, now go, Gao, go. No, dude, come on, bro. Really? Dude, wow. Not just unbelievable, dude. It is. The aggressive strat worked, but dude, that's some crap. Alright, here we go. Here's the boss. Hopefully I get him on the first try. I need some good RNG, baby. Oh, that's fortuitous there. That's really fortuitous. Oh, that's terrible. Ah. Well, at least it wasn't multi-target. That's all I can say. Crap. Gal, are you like stopped or something? It's like, I think he is. Unbelievable, dude. Just garbage. Missing. Alright, last Phoenix down, and now they're all visible. Yeah, this is not going my way. Oh no, dude. That's like the worst thing that could have happened. Oh, what am I doing? I'm just gonna... No, I'm not. I'm gonna stick to the strat. Whatever happens, happens. Come on. Single target in the middle. Crap. Well, that's probably gonna be it. I mean, we haven't been seeing hardly any fire twos, and not a single direct fire two on 128 yet. It's been a lot of bad RNG. That's what we need. We need like that multiple times. That's what's supposed to be hitting like all day long here. Is that direct target fire 2 on 128, and we just haven't been seeing very much of it. I mean, he uses it, but it's not single target. I mean, or it's single target, but it's on the wrong guy. Come on, gal. Just get... There we go. He won't take very many more of those. Come on. There we go, buddy. One more of those might do it. Oh no, I was not paying attention. Oh no, 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 no. Come on, gal. Oh, that'll be it. We're done. Oh no, somehow we're still alive. What? Oh, dude. Come on, man. You can do it, gal. Oh, you bum. Why, dude? Oh, well, here's it. This is probably it right here. Oh, wrong guy. Oh, man, I think we're wrecked now. Just unbelievable. Why don't you just do it, gal? Why don't you just cast fire too, dude? Yeah, that's really just so much unfortunate. So much unfortunate. I should have won that. That's really disheartening. Um, I'm going to take a break and come back in a few minutes and try this again. Oh. All right, let's try this again here. That's too bad. So I got to the boss on my third try using the aggressive strat in round 5. I feel like I should be able to use the conservative strat if Phoenix Downs allow in round 5 and have more consistent success. Because those first 3 rounds, I got to the 5th round. You know, the first 3 tries, I got to the 5th round every time. And I got to the boss on the 3rd try. So I think I kind of have the method down in my head pretty good here to have consistent success. So I'm just going to go with what I believe should work, and then we're going to go ahead and do that again, that conservative approach. Then I'm not gonna change what I'm doing in that 5th round. I'm just gonna try to keep it conservative and just win. You know, I think there's kind of this tendency to want to just get the battle over as quick as you can because you just want to be done with these Meg rotors. But if I can beat round number 4 with only Gao alive and have no trouble with it, there's no excuse that I couldn't do the same thing in round number 5. It's the same battle, only I'm starting off with Locke alive instead of Doma. But Locke is faster than Doma, so Locke is solid to be the second player up. Now, if we get lucky here, you can do this a little bit quicker than it has to be, but if we can get lucky and they'll do a physical attack on Doma here without casting Fire 2, single target on him, he should survive that. So now, so long as he gets hit by one of these attacks, or maybe it's possible that Wheel to Gao counts on the retort. I don't know, because something was happening with retort, but I don't fully understand what the heck that was. But all right, so yeah, so round number 2, Doma needs to be down. So now that we have just the one guy out there, we need to get him knocked out. Alright, so now I'm going to try and time this out perfectly. So I hope I don't get screwed out of a Phoenix down. Basically, the only thing that would screw me now would be single target Fire 2 on lock. I like my odds against that. So that should be the end of number 2 now. There's a lot more variables in the Mega Rotors compared to, like, say, for example, the Ultros battle on the Lech River. That battle with Ultros is, well, I mean, you can kind of manipulate what he does by what you do, and so, you know, you can kind of dictate how that battle goes. You can't really do that with these guys. They just have rolls, and the rolls are what they are. But in order for certain things to happen, there has to be a stack of rolls. And I don't know, that's not the worst spot to be in. If a stack of rolls has to happen in succession to have a negative outcome, or the most negative outcome for you, then that's not a bad spot to be in. You know, I mean, sure, you know, the worst could come about, but generally speaking. Alright, so now his attack is going to be a physical attack here. And I want Kane to be brought up just after fire is cast. Or no, I want to bring him up now. Damn it. Well, whatever. I'll do it right after he casts fire. Okay, so hopefully Locke or Gao can heal him quickly and he doesn't get hit by something. And if he wasn't so freaking slow, I could have gotten that off earlier. But there's really nothing I can do about that. I mean, the guy's just frozen molasses, man. He's just so slow. Alright, so this is round 3. See, now he retorted when Gao got hit. But Gao didn't take damage. So I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know. I wish I knew how to make that happen. I'm not sure what is all being done there. I know that Doma is really glitchy. You can do a lot of crazy stuff with him, but alright, let's see here. What am I doing here now? This is round number 4, which means that Doma needs to be dead at the end. Okay, so we're gonna do retort here. Okay. And oh yeah, we have to heal. Okay, yeah. Alright. I just got confused there. I paused because I was like, wait, I didn't want to make a mistake here. Yeah, the worst thing. Alright, we're gonna wait. My instinct is to immediately use that Phoenix down, but I'm not doing that. This is round 4, and this is a dry run for round 5, because I'm going to do the same strat in round 5 as I'm doing right now. Well, kind of. I mean, there's no guarantee it will play out like that, but, I mean, Locke could just stay alive and never die in round 5. That's possible. I mean, that would be ideal, actually. Again, the big concern here is always that they will kill themselves in one round. You know what I mean? When you're not ready, they'll both cast a spell and die at the same round, and then you're kind of screwed there. And so there's this lingering concern about letting the battles drag on. That one battle we did run out. One of them run out of magic, which rarely happens, but it's something that makes it so you should never probably lose that round. But it's not often that actually happens, where that one of them runs out of magic, because weird. Did I just go in between the two of them? I did. Wow, that's pretty tough to do. That is, I have to say, that's pretty tough to do. But now their timing is going to be all screwed up. I wonder if that's going to have a negative impact on me. Alright. Yeah, okay. That's how it's going to be, I guess. Then that's how it's going to be. That timing did get all screwed up there when I went in between them. But I should be able to get it back in my favor. It just cost me a Phoenix down, at least one. And I don't have a lot of Phoenix downs. Alright, I think... Okay, so this is the end of round 4, and we're going to stay conservative in round 5. We're not going to let the garbage that the game tries to throw at me, we're just not going to let it. I'm not going to be tempted by its trash, and I'm not going to be... Well, I'm going to try to keep lockup as best I can. Definitely. Even though he doesn't really do much damage. We're going to try to kill one of these guys. And without Luke dying, that would be ideal, because that would save me a Phoenix down. Well, that's not going to happen. Well, so here we go. Now we just wait for one of them to die, and then hope that we can not get screwed. You know, it might actually be a good idea to use the Primordite Rage on this battle. No, it sounds good, but it's a bad idea. You know, if they're casting a lot of Fire 1, that's probably in your best interest because it doesn't do that much damage to them, and it probably costs more than... I mean, it probably depletes their magic. Well, actually, the fastest way would be single target my dudes and waste Fire 2 and waste magic. But if it's coming off of Gao, then it hits them pretty hard. That's why usually... they don't ever run out of magic, really. Alright, so I got 4 Phoenix Downs here and 16 dried meat. I need 2 Phoenix Downs for sure. Maybe more. There we go. That should kill him. All right. All right. And they should be doing physical attacks this turn. Okay, which means that I should be okay, hopefully. Okay, that's even better. All right. Oops. Let's go with a Phoenix Down. And let's go with dried meat. And then let's try and get ourselves in a position where we're in our... Alright, so he's out of magic, which means that we are now in control of this battle. And... what? Oh, I wasted a Phoenix Down, son of a bitch! Alright, well... Alright. Alright, this is back-to-back, making it to the boss with a second strategy the second time. We're going to use the same boss strategy, though. That's not changing. Way to go, gal. I'm tempted to use Marshall here, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with the strat that I got. And we're going to go with Templar. And if we don't get screwed, this is actually a really, really easy and boring fight. I mean, if the RNG is really on our side, I mean, we end this fight with full health. But I don't know what the odds of that are. Not fantastic. Oh, that's the worst thing we could have happen right there. Wow, way to go, Lock. Now, come on, Gao, do your part, man. Just start railing that guy with Fire 2 single target, bro. There we go. There you go, buddy. Get on that. Oh, crap. Oh, wrong guy. Again, wrong guy. We're getting awfully low on dried meat here. Alright, Fire 2, Gao. Get on that Fire 2. Dude, come on, man. Get on that Fire 2. Dude, come on, bro. Now, yeah, watch. He'll do it now and target the wrong thing. Well, lock is down, huh? Get on that Fire 2, bro. We really have been unfortunate with the Fire 2s again here. Um, just still a chance we win this, but I mean, we're just not seeing that many fire twos, and definitely not single target fire twos. He had about 3 turns in a row there where he could have done one fire two, any fire two, and it would have been a single target no matter what, and he just didn't do a single one. Our odds are not great here. There we go. Yeah, there we are. Alright, so not counting yesterday, this was attempt number 4. I got to the boss on attempt number 3. I got to the boss on attempt number 4. I beat the boss on attempt number 4. That's not so bad, and that's kind of what I was expecting yesterday, but I just got, let's be honest, this game just dominated me. There's nothing I could do. It was just, nothing I could do was right. All right now, let's go ahead and give that dried meat to Gao here, and let's give Gao some different gear here. Oh man, I haven't done this in so long. I should have practiced this. I didn't even think about this. Do I have a tent? I do have a tent. Alright, we'll use that tent. Alright, and we'll save here. And, well, at least we have a save. So even if I fail, it's not the end of the world. We got out of the Magitech factory. We got that over and done with. Those Mega Rotors can be a real unforgiving situation. Alright, so what we're going to do here is something called Joker Doom. And Joker Doom might be something that you guys are all familiar with, and it might be something that no one's ever heard of. So it's just, you know, I mean, it's becoming more and more well known as time has gone on. But, you know, 10, 15, 20 years ago, nobody knew about this stuff. Very few people, I should say. There were people that knew, but very, very, very few people. It was a very little known thing. So, Setzer has the reels, the slot machine reels that he has, and there are a number of different attacks that you can do by locking various different images on the 3 different reels. But there are 2 that I do involving, well, primarily I only really just do the 2 for the most part, but it's called Joker Doom, and hopefully I don't mess this up because I haven't done it in 4 years, but let's see. I don't even know if I remember. There it is. Oh boy, I'm rusty. Okay, so I failed this out terribly. Okay, man, that's really embarrassing. Alright, let's try again here. I don't even know if I can do it if I failed the first time. I'm not sure about that. But we'll try it again here. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, this controller too, I need to take this thing apart. Yeah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I wonder if I can. I tell you what, I am going to try my other controller here and see if I'm able to use this better, because the start button's kind of slopped out on the one I'm using. And let's try a different controller and see if that will make it a little more. Yeah, maybe. Actually, yeah, I think this is my. Yeah. Yeah, this is the controller that I normally use for this particular game, I think. So I probably should have practiced this before I started streaming it. Um, so without getting too far into it, there's Joker Doom and then there's Reverse Joker Doom. Joker Doom is usually like really, really not difficult at all. I mean, it's very basic. Reverse Joker Doom is a lot more complex, but it's not really necessary, except for a very, very, very few select battles. Um, it needs to be used because of immunities on the enemies and stuff like that. So I'm not going to get into Reverse Joker Doom just yet, but it's a little bit more, well, it's significantly more complex and technical and more difficult to execute until you're comfortable using it. Joker Doom, same thing, but it's just a more entry-level kind of thing for this. The reels are something I shouldn't. I mean, it's not something that I should fail to execute on. But it's been 4 years, so that makes a difference, I guess. It's a pretty technical thing. I'll try and explain it here. If I don't die. And I would like to just do it first. There we go. There it is, okay. So normally, what will happen when you try to do this? Yeah, this controller is not liking this. There we go. Yeah, I need to take these apart and clean them is what I need to do. It's sticking on that, like, yeah, right there. Fortunately, in this situation, time doesn't matter. That's something that isn't the case in, come on, that isn't the case in there we go. That took a long time. I'm going to have to take these controllers. Well, no, I don't. I won't have to do another one of these for a while. That was Joker Doom right there. So what you do is you use an echo screen to rig the RNG to a place that you want it to be to unlock the third reel. So the way it normally is that the third reel is locked, so you can't get a 7 unless. So there's a counter, okay? There's a counter that you can't see, And when the number is at the right spot, then it's like the tumblers on a combination lock. And when the numbers are in the right spot, then that unlocks the 7 on the third reel. Now, you can usually, against a lot of enemies, use a echo screen to line the numbers up where you want on that counter so that you can unlock the reel. Unlock the third reel. So that you can get the 7. Now, usually what happens is you get like 7-7 diamond, or sometimes you'll get 7-7 bar. 7-7 bar is gonna kill the whole party. It is basically reverse Joker Doom. And so Setzer casts it just like he cast Joker Doom right there, only he casts it on his own party. So you would just wipe your whole party out. Now, the thing about Joker Doom is it can't be blocked, and it always hits. So there's 2 ways to prevent Joker Doom from working. One of them is basically that the person trying to execute it just fails to execute. That's their problem. That's their fault. It's nobody else's fault but their own. They just fail to execute. The other way is if there's an immunity to it. Now, if there's an immunity to it, then that will simply prevent you from being able to unlock that third reel. It will never land on 7 if a monster has immunity to Joker Doom. That's the only way to prevent it from hitting, because if it's cast, it will hit every time. It will not miss against any monster in the game. Or playable character. It's 100% guaranteed to kill. Always. Every time. So like I said, there's 2 ways that you can make it not hit, and that's immunity to it, which prevents the casting of it in the first place. It doesn't prevent the hitting of it. That's not possible. It will always hit. Reverse Joker Doom, I said I wasn't really going to get into that. I'm not going to get into it in great detail, but when I use Reverse Joker Doom, what I do is I basically I inject Muddle, the spell Muddle, into the equation. And so I muddle Setzer at just the right time, and I knock him out of Muddle at just the right time. And then what he does then is he casts Reverse Joker Doom on the enemy party. And, of course, it hits and kills everyone in the party. So you can use it against anyone. Reverse Joker Doom is a much more complex and very technical set of commands. It's not difficult to memorize. It's pretty easy. It's just that the timing varies based on what you're fighting. So some monsters have a timing that, you know, is one way, and then another set of monsters, the timing will be adjusted for different segments of, like when you're entering the command, is the best way I can put it. They're just, the timing is different. And so, so much of executing it is just timing. So you kind of have to learn a couple different sets of inputs. Or, I mean, once you've been doing it for a while, then it's not that bad. You know, you kind of just do it by feel at that point, because you'll notice the timing is off. You can feel that it is. You might not catch it the first time, but then, you know, once it's happened before, you know it's coming. So you can adjust to compensate for that, especially if you know certain battles are going to be slower or certain battles are going to be faster. You know, you can kind of be prepared for that, and you can practice for it too. But I hope I'm going the right way. Am I going the right way? Yeah, I think so. All right. Um, and I don't even think I have to talk to that guy. So anyway, long story short on the Joker Doom thing. If I'm remembering right, I think I only used Joker Doom on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think honestly, I think it's only 5 times I use Reverse Joker Doom. Maybe 6. Actually, there's this. No, I think that's regular. No, that might. I don't know. I don't remember. I really don't remember. I can remember 5. Oh no, there's another one. That's 6. Um, there's at least 6. Um, mandatory fights where I use Reverse Joker Doom, but that's not for a long time. Regular Joker Doom, um, probably fewer times than that. I don't really use it that often. I mean, there aren't that many fights where I have to use it. I pretty much save those types of um, things for when there really is no other way, um, other than. So I guess this is kind of the way I look at it, right? So like, let's say that there's a battle, and I could win the fight another way, but it would take like 3 hours, like Rasp, Osmos, and stuff like that. There are a lot. I don't know how familiar everybody is going to be with all the different tactics that people have used over the years for this game, but there are some tactics that are, they're tried and true tactics. They're respected and they're accepted strategies. Um, they just take a very, very long time. Um, but then there are, so basically the idea is, I mean, if you can beat it this way, and it's just super fast, or super, super slow, right? But it's beatable that way. And there's another way that you can do the same thing, only it takes a very small fraction of the time. Then I don't really view, like for example, Joker Doom, right? If I use Joker Doom on an enemy that I can beat outright, then I don't really feel like I have cheated myself of anything. And then there are some other battles where there, like for example, there is one boss. His name is Guardian, and the only way that I can get past that fight with my level 6 characters, regardless of the formation that I use, the only possible way, at least that I've come up with, to beat that boss is to use Reverse Joker Doom. And so I use it, because that's a method through which I can advance. You're probably wondering why I'm just standing here, but I think I'm going to end the stream here before long. I might let it run for a little bit longer. I can just reset it. I made a save. So where we're at right now is we have access to the airship, and we can go pretty much anywhere that we want. But that window of time is kind of limited. Once we progress within the main storyline, then we're going to be back on rails again. And so the time is now for me to go explore and go anywhere and do anything that I would like to get done before I get back on the rails. And for the purpose of this challenge that I do, that means it's time to get some stuff and it's time to then get some money because pretty much in the world of balance, most of what I acquire as far as stuff and gear and consumables and whatever it is that I get, most of that is stuff that I can purchase. Um, that's just the way this half of the game works. It's much more like a lot of the other Final Fantasy games, where money is a pretty big deal, and uh, sometimes it's really hard to come by. Some Final Fantasy games are like that, especially early on. And this one is very much like that. I mean, the end game, I mean, the money is just like, it's endless. It doesn't mean anything. You can gain massive amounts of money in an extremely short period of time. So, money doesn't even come into play in the end of the game, but it sure does at this point in the game. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be stealing Dragoon boots. I'm going to do it here real quick. Well, actually, I'll reset it here. And since I'm not doing a super hard grind for time, I'm not gonna. This isn't gonna be a brutal thing here. It's just gonna be. It's gonna be what it is. I'm just gonna have to reset a few times, but so basically, all right. Let me think here. Let's go. Oh, where the heck is it now? Actually, let me do this here. Alright, so we're going to go here, and this is kind of the key to what we're doing here. Where is it now? These guys right here, Dragoon boots. They sell for 4,500 bucks a pop. That's a big deal. And then we're going to go here, and we're going to buy 15 smoke bombs. And let's see here. Block. Let me think here. May as well, right? Oh yeah, Dur. Okay. Alright, so Harvester is a monster that spawns in Zozo. In fact, it can spawn right outside the entrance to Zozo here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going in here and hoping to find Harvester. If I don't find Harvester, I would normally just reset. And I don't know how many... I'm not going to get too aggressive here. If I don't get a Harvester battle in the first, like, maybe 3 encounters here, I'm probably going to reset. And if I don't get a successful steal of a Dragoon boots here, yeah, so we're not messing around with that forever and ever and ever. But basically, this is how this works. You walk into town, you get into a battle with a Harvester, and you steal. The problem, it would be nice if I had some way at this point in game of guaranteeing a rare steal. That would just be the bee's knees right here. But that's not something I have access to right now. So there is a pretty heavy RNG factor in this. Oh yeah, so basically what I do here is I do this. I make Locke invisible, or everybody invisible, but we're gonna kill off. Maybe we've learned some magic. Nope. Maybe he has learned. There it is. All right. And stole goggles reset. So if he steals nothing, then we can keep on trying to steal. If he steals goggles, that's garbage. We don't want garbage. We want that thing that's worth 4,500 GP. Because that's good stuff. Anyway, it's just my personal preference. I think this targeted method of acquiring GP via stealing and selling Dragoon boots is preferable to spending hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on the Veld. Because that's pretty much your only other alternative in a low-level game. Because you're going to need the money one way or another. There's not really a realistic way to get the things you need to advance through the game when you're this low of a level without money. I mean, you need the money. There's no other really, there's no way around that. You have to acquire money so that you can buy gear or basically you can buy consumables and you can buy weapon and armor. So this is kind of a really, honestly, it's a pretty boring thing. If a person is less scrupulous when it comes to, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say it in a negative light. If a person wants to play a game a certain way, that's entirely up to them. And I shouldn't, who am I to tell them how to play their game, right? It's just stupid. But if somebody prefers to use emulation tricks to try and make it easier to steal these items, I don't begrudge them for that. I'm not going to do that here. I mean, that's not what I'm doing here. But if someone wanted to do that, that's entirely up to them. And when I say emulation tricks, I guess what I'm I probably don't have any Phoenix down. What I mean by that is like save states and stuff like that. You can make save states at certain spots in time, and through that kind of a that kind of assistance, it can make it a lot faster to acquire the items. Faster real time, not game time, but real time, where you're able to repetitively spam a target until a desirable outcome turns up, and then as soon as that turns up, you save and repeat that process. Also, if somebody uses a fast forward button or something like that, that can definitely speed up the, the, the thievery process. You know, just because he's with Haggis Gigas, I'm gonna quick try and steal and get out of here. Cause no, didn't get one. That would just be like my luck, right? You know, I gotta I gotta steal it when there's a Haggis Gigas out there. Anyway, I gotta steal 14 of those Dragoon boots, and I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing this tonight, but I guess uh, I'm not at a point in my schedule right now where I have a deadline approaching fast. I have a little bit of wiggle room here about how I spend my time over the next couple of hours. So I guess, I don't know, I guess another thing about this, you can get really lucky, you know? I don't know what the most consecutive attempts I've had at stealing Dragoon boots, but I would say, oh, what the heck? Why can't I use his rage? That's kind of weird. Or rage, what am I doing? I'm a moron. Here we go. So I haven't even got my first, there we go. There's my first Dragoon boots. So now we're gonna run away. Now, probably in my walkthrough, I would say use a smoke bomb here. But actually, I probably should, honestly, because I finally got one. Alright, so now what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and do the best I can to kill off everybody other than Locke here. The idea is get everybody knocked out except for Locke and keep Locke invisible while you're doing this grind. So you can take multiple stabs at the same guy or a group of enemies. And you just don't have to worry about all the... Because, I mean, Zozo, at this point in the game, I mean, in a Harvester mob, you're just... Unless Haggis Gigas is part of the mob, you're just not going to really have any issues with... you're just not going to really have any issues with magic making him visible. Like, he can just pretty much hang out totally invisible for about as long as he wants to. Yeah, this would be a lot... Oh, what a bunch of garbage, dude. Okay, whatever. So, yeah, this happens. I'm taking way too much time here. Hopefully that doesn't kill him. Awesome, that's fantastic. So that's 2 consecutive Dragoon boots. That's pretty kick-ass. If I had any kind of better magic, I could just wipe out everybody pretty quickly here, but my magic is so limited right now. I don't have any mages available to me, and the only person who's learned a spell from an Esper is, ironically, Doma. Because, like, that guy's, like, if there ever was a character in this game that wasn't a mage, it would be that guy. Umaro has more magic flowing through his bones than this guy does. Yeah. Goggles. You know, it would be nice if you could steal multiple of the same item, like in Final Fantasy X. That was a really, really good mechanic in that game. I mean, that was outstanding. I mean, the idea that, sure, okay, so you're guaranteed to steal an item on your first attempt. Okay, that's pretty cool. But then you can steal multiple items in succession, and then the percentage of your success rate goes down with each successful steal. I mean, that is just really cool and a great idea. And I'm a pretty big fan of Final Fantasy X. Um, I actually have some work to do on that. I've got one run that I'm working on right now. Well, it's on pause right now. I haven't worked on it for a few months, but I'm working on well, I'm kind of trying to farm Dark Aeons in the hopes that I can get them to drop uh, the right four slot weapon for Titus. Yeah, this is a bunch of garbage right here. I need to reset this. His celestial weapon is just so much garbage to try and just win with those chocobo races. It's just like I'm not gonna do that. So, um, my thought was I would maybe try to beat Penance without three people having a equivalent to a celestial weapon. Um, I don't know. Like right now, the only celestial weapon I have is Riku. Um, I can get Wakas whenever I want. It's just a matter of going through and doing the 2 dozen Blitz matches or whatever that is required. There's some resetting probably too, based on, RNG stuff, but I've gotten Wakas before. It's not that bad. I mean, it's a lot of Blitzball, but I mean, there's worse things to do, like trying to get Lulu's or Titus's. Like, I don't know. I don't mind grinding something, but I think that's more along the lines of masochism than it is grindage. That dodge 200 consecutive lightning bolts business. I mean, props to anybody that's done that. I don't know if there's like a way to cheese it. If there is, then I guess that wouldn't be that bad. But, honestly, okay, so here's my thing with that game. I'm a really, really, really big fan of Final Fantasy X. I played it one time back when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it. And then 20 years later, I replayed it again, and I mean, I did not remember hardly anything. I mean, I remember the framework of, the game. Kind of. I kind of remembered the framework. But it was like really like playing the game for the first time all over again because I really didn't remember hardly anything about it, um, and I really enjoyed it. Um, and since then, I've played it through a few times. I bought the remastered version for Xbox, and it was pretty impressive. Um, I mean, it's the same game. It just looks way better. I mean, it looks a lot better. But it's the same game. They did add some optional post-game um, monsters outside of the monster arena. Um, Everything within the monster arena is still there, but they added a monster called Penance, and then they added Dark Aeons, which I haven't got the Penance yet, but the Dark Aeons are super strong. Um, they are incredibly powerful. Uh, Maybe, okay, I guess it depends on how far you get. Um, I'm not sure which Dark Aeon it is that is. Oh, what did I get? I wasn't even paying attention. If I have 3 Dragoon boots, then I got Dragoon boots. If I got goggles, I shouldn't own any goggles. No, I got goggles. Where are the goggles? There they are. Garbage. Trash. There's like the Dark Aeons have tiers to their difficulty. Like for example, the first one, I don't even remember the name of it. It's the one that's like a flying creature that you get in Besaid at the beginning. It's like the first Aeon you get. Anyway, the Dark Aeon version of that. So if you go and fight that Dark Aeon, like before you're prepared, it's just like you can think you have a strong party and you don't. I mean, it's bad. I mean, he's way more strong than anything you've ever fought, except for if you had finished all of the monster arena. But that's some pretty high level stuff there. I mean, even the Omega Ruins are nothing compared to the Dark Aeons. They're extremely, extremely powerful. Um, and honestly, I think that game probably has the most and best post-game content of the entire franchise. I mean, it's really good. The music is good. It's good. Some people don't like some of the characters, and that's fine. For the most part, I guess if there's a character I don't like Seymour. Just something about that guy, man. I don't know. I don't like Seymour. But the music in his fights is good. All of his fights have good music. It's not like Kefka, where, Kefka's a turd, but there's something about him that people like Kefka. Even though he's a psychopath and a lunatic. I don't know. Maybe because there's this aspect of comedy there, and maybe some sense of irony on some part that people can somehow find palatable. I don't really know what the answer is. I like Kefka. He's this crazy son of a biscuit, but I don't know. As villains go, he's a likable villain. He's probably the most. I don't know. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's because he actually succeeds at what he's trying to do. Maybe it's because he is crazy, And so there's maybe on some level people feel a sympathy for him, feeling that, he was corrupted by something and maybe it wasn't the way it had to be for him. I don't really know, but Nobody feels that way that I've ever talked to, anyway. When it comes to Seymour, everybody's like, "No, man, that guy's just super creepy." He just looks creepy. There's nothing. I mean, there's that at the end of the game. There's that one cutscene that maybe you might feel some kind of sympathy for him, but I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't like me some Seymour very much at all. Anyway, the game's fantastic. I've got a friend who just cannot stand Waka. Like, he's just big time anti-Waka. I don't know why he's so anti-Waka, but he is. I'm gonna go ahead and just take the time here to um, make both Gao and Doma visible, and then I'm gonna save it because I'm just so sick and tired of doing it over and over and over and over and over again. That way, at least I can work on killing those two guys off. It gets much more streamlined once you get it down to just lock. I mean, you're in and you're out. Boom, boom. It becomes very binary once it's just him, because it's either the battle you're looking for or it's not. And there's nothing to do if it's not. But as it is now, I have stuff I need to get done. I want to get these guys knocked out. And so it's kind of gnawing at me. Like I can't get about the business that I want to get about. I keep running into this guy. Well, there you go. He's helping me out. You know, so long as he doesn't do magnitude 8, I'm perfectly fine. But, you know, that's a dangerous attack. He is one of those formations that you just don't want anything to do with. There's a handful of those in the game, and he's one of them. He can one-shot your whole party. And nobody likes that. And for some reason, I keep running into him over and over and over again. You know, I wouldn't mind if the RNG locked into something if it was just giving me Dragoon boots over and over and over again. So, if I was doing a hard grind for time, a lot of this stuff would not be acceptable. I would be very, very restrictive about what I would accept. Like, basically, I'd walk into town, I'd give myself about 3 to 5 seconds to encounter a battle with a harvester, and if I did not, I would just reboot and try again. I think the last time I did this, no, I don't think, I know. The last time I did this, I did it on the console. And it was right around the holidays, and I pretty much dedicated, I mean, it's not like it's the only thing I did that day. You know, obviously I did other things, but as far as what I did for, I don't know if you want to call it work, but it was during the holidays, right? So you don't have work, you have extended window of time of free time, and I pretty much just one of those days just ground this out until I got all my Dragoon boots. It's a lot slower process when you're not using any advantages that an emulator can present you, like speeding. So that's one thing. Like if I'm just doing practices, or if I'm trying to run to a particular spot in the game to practice that spot. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Um, uh, then I'll use the fast forward button and stuff like that. But when I'm doing something like this, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to use any kind of garbage. Like, I shouldn't call it garbage. It's just a tool to do stuff. But for this content that I'm creating, I'm just not going to do any of that stuff. I would use the console itself to create this content, and actually, you know, at some point I might start doing that. But right now, I don't have the hardware required to connect an old set of RCA cables to my computer. So that's not even an option for me at this point. But if I find myself putting a lot of time, because I've never streamed before, right? This is the only time I've ever done this. I mean, I've recorded some stuff that I've done in the past and thrown it on YouTube, various things. But I've never streamed anything before I started this game. I used to play a lot of GoldenEye 007 when it was, you know, a popular game. And when the N64 was still a a top-of-the-line console. So it's been a while. But I used to play that game a lot, and I thought that I was pretty solid at that game. And so I used to play the game with my friends a lot back in the day, but I also would spend a lot of time playing the campaign. And so I went through and I unlocked all of the, I guess, I don't know what they called them back then. They weren't like achievements or anything. They were just like goals or something. I don't know. So each level in GoldenEye had, I think, 4 different difficulties. And so it went from difficulty 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So, like, let's say, and it wasn't exactly this way, because I want to say the first level was, you were required to do it on the second to hard. Yeah, it was. That's exactly what it was. So there was Double O Agent. I think that was the most difficult setting. I don't know. Actually, you know, I honestly don't remember the names of all of them. Just I'm pretty sure Double O Agent was the most difficult setting, but the way that game was set up, you'd have, you know, I don't remember, maybe there was 20 levels or 25 levels, I don't remember, but in order to get those achievements or whatever, those goals that they set up for you, you had to complete certain tasks in certain levels, and they had to be at certain difficulty levels when you did it. And they went in order. So, like, for example, level 1, you had to complete on difficulty 3. Level 2, you had to complete those objectives on the maximum difficulty, which would have been difficulty number 4. And then it reset. So then level 3 was back to difficulty number 1. Well, anyway, one of the most famous or infamous, however you want to put it, cheats. That's what they call them. They call them cheats because you would unlock cheats, and so then in multiplayer or in the campaign, you could turn these various cheats on to give you advantages. Or I mean, I guess you could make it more difficult too. But either way, you had the ability to manipulate the game, and you had more control over the way the game would play out. Well, one of the ones that was, you know, viewed as maybe the most difficult one in the game, or definitely one of the most difficult ones in the game, was the facility on Double O Agent. I think you have to beat it in less than 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Why do I keep running into Hagus Gigas? I don't understand. Anyway, that was the one that took me the longest. It took me a long time to get that one. But fast forward 20 years later, I played that game again, and this time I made a YouTube video. I didn't get all the achievements, but I did get that one because I had run that map so many times, and I had a good strat for doing it. It was RNG dependent because Dr. Doak so he can. I don't know if you guys know about this game or not, but the facility is a level that is in GoldenEye 007, and one of the objectives that is given to you on, I think it's the 3 and 4 difficulty levels, the second to hardest and the hardest difficulty in that game, is that you have to talk to Dr. Doak. And Dr. Doak appears at one of, I believe, 4 random locations in the level. And if you're gonna unlock the cheat for that level, I guess technically I've seen like professional speedrunners that do GoldenEye 007, like they've been doing this. These are like, I don't know what it is about these guys, but they're all Canadians. I swear they're all Canadians. The guy says speedrun 007. That and I think Brazil. I don't remember. There's some South American country, but I think it's Brazil. Anyway, Brazilians and Canadians. That's who speedrun GoldenEye 007. Don't ask me why. I don't know, but that seems to be the community of the elite speedrunners in GoldenEye 007. Now, I've seen a video where one of these guys met Dr. Doak in the most difficult spot in the level, like the most time-consuming spot in the level, and still unlocked the cheat. That was one of the more incredible things I've seen in a video game. That's pretty amazing because I know that game really well, and I don't even know if I could do it if it wasn't just a matter of patience. I don't know that I could physically execute that strat and win. I just don't know that I could do that. Stupid goggles, dude. Anyway, I made a YouTube video beating it in a way that anybody can do it. I mean, it's not that bad. If anybody knows the game or the level well, you start off in the bathroom up in the ceiling in that level. You basically just run down, you go down the stairs, and what I do is I throw a remote mine on the boxes that are at the base of the stairs, and then I turn and run around the corner and go through the door to kill the guy that has the key to the locked room. And as I'm moving away from those boxes, I ignite the timed mine. What that does is it usually kills a handful of dudes, and they open the door for me. Excuse me. Sometimes they don't open the door, but even if they don't, I have the key now because I killed the guy with the key. And then I go open the other door with the safety lock, run through there. I use another remote mine and I throw it down the long hallway after you get past the security doors. And that one remote bomb blows up the dudes in the hallway. I kind of tuck around to the left. There's like a pillar there. And I avoid, their bullets and stuff, blow them up. Then I run down the hallway and just barely slip into the door at the other end while, they shoot at me, but then they miss. I kind of dodge their bullets, I guess you could say. From there, you basically just shut the door behind you. You just double tap the door as you go through it. And so that door closes behind you. Once you get through there, you go to the left and shoot the guy with the silencer. I mean, you use your silenced pistol and shoot the guy in front of you. The guys through the glass see you, and then they come after you, but you're kind of running pretty fast there. Then I go up to the next sealed door and just empty my clip of my silenced pistol at the door. That gets the other guy on the other side of the door to open the door for me, at which point I kill him with my silenced pistol. Then I take and throw another remote mine back to the boxes at the back of that room and blow that up, which then kills those two guys. And sometimes it'll kill a guy up above too, but not always. Then I pause for a moment and then run up the stairs, kill those two guys, and then Dr. Doak needs, for my strat to work, the one that anybody can do, Dr. Doak has to be at the end of the hallway down there. So basically you just run, you don't even have to talk to him, you just go, you get close enough to, be in the vicinity of him. And he will engage conversation with you, which basically checks that requirement off the list. Then I switch to the assault rifle, kill the remaining guys in front of my path, go to the next security door, use the security key to get through the security door. Then once I get down by Trevelyan, where all of the gas canisters are at, I just use, it would be faster to use the timed bombs with precision locations on the floor or even in midair. When I did it 20 years ago, that's what I did. I used the precision bombs because it's faster. So it gives you more wiggle room for failure or if you make mistakes earlier in the level. But for my video, I didn't do that. I just used the assault rifle to shoot them all because I had plenty of time. The time wasn't the problem. You just have to execute. It's not that big of a deal. So I think my video was like 2 minutes. I don't know. I think it was 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Requirement is 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And honestly, I think anybody can do what I did in that video. It's not that hard. If you have that game and just use that strat that I put forth in that level, you can beat that. I would say half hour, 45 minutes, you'll have that achievement. Or you'll have unlocked that cheat. It's not that bad. Honestly, I think probably the worst one, because there's so much RNG involved in it, is the one where you have to, I can't even remember her name. There's that Russian girl that's part of the thing there. She's like one of the scientists. I can't remember her name. But this one level where she has to do some hacking and you have to keep her alive. And I'm pretty sure it's Double O Agent again that you have to get that cheat on. And that one's pretty brutal. There's just so much RNG involved. It's really tough. And then there's the train. That one, I mean, later on when I got better at the game, it wasn't as bad because, I mean, you can kind of wreck that level once you get good. But for the longest time, that one was just brutal for me. Um, it was just so difficult to aim that wrist thing at those, I don't know, those weld spots on the grate, and then get out, because at the very, very end, that's heavily RNG too, because once you finally do get outside, you have to keep that woman away from the train, or the explosion from the train will kill her, or then there's the dudes outside that are shooting with the assault rifles that can still kill her. The biggest problem is not staying alive yourself, it's keeping that woman alive. It's just terribly RNG dependent. And that's a tough one to get to, for sure. Stupid goggles, dude. Anyway, I did make a video of that. And anybody can do that one. That was like, I don't know, a number of years ago. Well, probably like 2 years ago, I suppose, when I played that game again. I hadn't played it for a really long time, and I was not nearly as good 20 years later as I used to be. I was kind of like, man, I used to be good at this game. I kind of suck now. It took me a while to get decent at it. And to be honest, yeah, I wasn't nearly as good as I used to be. I mean, I'm better at video games now than I used to be 20 years ago, but I am better at that game 20 years ago than I am now. There were a handful of games that I played a lot of back in the day, like at that same time, like Mario Golf on N64, GoldenEye 007, NBA Showtime, Mario Kart 64. Those were probably the 64 games that Well, I played some Madden back then, but I don't think I really played my best Madden until probably, I don't know if it was Xbox 360 or just the OG Xbox. I don't remember. Oh, there we go. Dragoon Boots, yeah. Probably my favorite, or maybe it's just nostalgia creeping in, but I think probably the best Madden they ever made was the one with Ray Lewis on the cover. I mean, that was a really good game. And I used to play a lot of Madden. I haven't played Madden. The last Madden I bought was the one with Barry Sanders on the cover. And the one before that I bought was probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 years before that. I don't remember. Maybe the one with Drew Brees or Brett Favre. I don't remember. Xbox 360 for sure, though. And I was never great at Madden. I was okay. I mean, I might have been better than the people that I played locally with, but playing online, there were people that were way better than I was that I would encounter. I had a pretty basic strategy. I would just run the ball and play good defense, and run play action, run a lot of like screens and stuff like that. Small ball type stuff. It would it gets really frustrating when you're playing somebody who just runs the ball, but you can't stop them running the ball. That's very demoralizing. The only thing about that strategy is you gotta score touchdowns, you know, because you're not gonna have as many possessions as you would in a game where everybody's just trying to throw the ball around a lot. So every possession is more important, and so you gotta get touchdowns. And I mean, field goals are okay, but a lot of times people that you'll play against don't even ever kick. They always go for it. So you got to score touchdowns. But if you're running the ball well, that's not a problem because you'll score every time you touch the ball. It takes longer to score that way a lot of times. I mean, sometimes it doesn't, you know. I mean, sometimes, I don't know. I run a lot of sweeps, stuff like that. I put like jumbo formations in there where I've got extra offensive linemen and just a lot of blockers, and just go to work on them. So the thing is, when you're able to run the ball well, then they get really frustrated with you, and they start running zero blitzes. And once they start running zero blitzes, then you can use play action for touchdowns. So it's kind of a cat and mouse game. But I haven't really played Madden for a long time. It's probably been 10 years since I played a game of Madden. Stupid goggles. Those goggles are just not what we're looking for. But Final Fantasy X, I got a couple things I want to do on that yet. The last thing I'll probably do is I'm going to play a no sphere grid game. I'm saving that for last because I will break the game with that. Like, there will be no point in doing anything again with that game because, I mean, if you beat the game without spending any sphere grid currency, I mean, that's kind of like the equivalent of what I'm doing here in this game, you know? So anytime that I try to play, and I call this kind of casual, low-level game because I'm not grinding for time here. I mean, to some degree, I'm trying to be quick, but this is not a hard time grind here. Like, I'm not going for a PB or something like that. I'm not doing that right now. I'm just giving this streaming thing a shot here and seeing if this is something I can be successful at. I don't really know. And even if it's not something I'm successful at, I'm having fun doing what I'm doing here. And so that's good enough for me. But yeah, that no sphere grid challenge will pretty much put the cherry on the top of that game for me. And that's why I'm doing the penance fight first. I think it's technically possible to beat penance without... No, not penance. You can't beat penance. He's one of the... There's like a handful of bosses in that game that are deemed impossible to beat on a no sphere grid game. And I think penance is one of them because you can't beat there's a prerequisite boss fight that you have to fight in order to fight penance that you can't beat. Some people say you could beat penance if you were able to fight him, but you can't fight him, so you'll never know. I don't know. I've never even fought him yet at all, period, let alone fight him in a no sphere grid game. Um, Probably the closest thing that I ever did to that was I did a um, Crystarium game in Final Fantasy 13. That was actually pretty awesome. Um, I mean, the game itself has a lot of warts, but it's got a lot of good things going for it. The battle system's pretty good. Characters aren't very good. Story isn't very good. Plot isn't very good. It's pretty derivative. But the battle system is good. And the design of the way the battle system works is really good. So you can actually beat the whole game, all of the required parts of the game, without using any Crystarium points. Um, I have yet to actually complete that. So there's a double tier final boss in that game. You fight Barthangelus for the final time, and then he turns into Orphan. I've beat Barthangelus, and I've gotten close to beating Orphan, but it's so frustrating. It took me a long time to finally beat Barthangelus, but I have a good strat for him. I developed one that is lock solid. I pretty much played that game without a guide. Um, in fact, when I started playing it, I didn't even know it was a thing. I was just like, I'm just going to try this and see how far I can get. And then I got so far into the game, and um, I ended up looking up the most cost-effective way to build stuff. So like you don't spend any Crystarium points in that challenge, but you can upgrade your armor. You can upgrade, it's not really armor, I guess. They're like accessory slot, I think they give you. I don't remember. It's like kind of like a relic slot, I guess would be the equivalent, I would call it. It's not really armor. And then a weapon. So you can upgrade those things. Like for example, there's like a bangle, right? A bangle adds more hit points to you. So like as you upgrade the bangles, they get, pretty beefy. I don't remember what the maximum hit points that one will award you, but it's substantial, and then obviously the weapons can be pretty huge. But I use Fang, Hope, and Vanille. That's my party. Or no, that's not right. No, I use Fang, Saz, and Vanille. I didn't want to grind out the money to build Hope's weapon to the level 3 weapon. He's got a level 2 weapon, and I use him for some fights, but as far as like the real, because I mean you can move him in and out for some fights. Some of the fights aren't terribly difficult. Like so, I mean, they're all pretty difficult. Let's be honest, but there are certain fights where it's more beneficial to have him in there because he can cast Protect than it is to have probably Vanille. I don't remember. I mean, it varies. So some of the early stuff, like I'll even have whatever the heck her name is. I can't stand Lightning. She's just like, when that game first came out, there were a lot of people that liked Lightning. I was not one of them. I despised Lightning. Lightning was actually not a terrible character as far as her ability. She was just a terrible character because it's like she sucked as a person, I guess. I don't know. She was not likable. She should have been a dude. I think she would have been less dislikable if she was a dude. I don't know why, but yeah, she should have been a dude. Fang should have been a dude too, and Hope should have been a female. So it was kind of weird, like the way they did that. It wasn't done very well. It was a mess. Um, I mean, the Saz character was fine, as he was. I don't think there was anything wrong with the Saz character. His story actually wasn't even that bad. I didn't mind Snow. Some people, my best friend hates Snow. I just can't stand him. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm sure he has his own reasons, but I liked Snow. Mainly, well, see, so the gimmick with that game is that like everybody in the party can die except for the party leader, and Snow has the most hit points. So it seems obvious to me the guy that has the Sentinel role, which is just straight up defense and tank mode, and he's got like the most hit points. It just seemed intuitive to me that he should be the party lead. Because, I mean, the only way you lose is if the party lead dies. So, I don't know. I just always used him as the party lead. It just seemed like, why would you do anything else? Um, but I guess most people didn't really use Snow very much. I don't know. Maybe that was just me being different. I don't know. Uh, but for the most part, I used Snow up until the very end. Like you can get, I mean, you can get through Grand Pulse. I mean, you can get a long ways into that game before you have to have level 3 weapons. But once you decide, okay, these are the people I'm going to make level 3 weapons for, um, I mean, it's difficult to justify using anyone outside of Fang, Vanille, and Saz, other than maybe Hope. Because Hope has Protect, and that's kind of a big deal. Um, and he's a good healer. But um, Saz has haste. Well, I don't know if he has haste in a No Crystarium game. He probably doesn't. Um, but he has faith, and that's huge because Ruin, which is basically a ranged non-elemental magic attack, is governed by magic strength. So when you have Saz, that means you have faith, which means you can increase your magic damage, and Ruin is probably the single best magic attack in the game. It's fantastic. Even if you don't level it up, it's really good attack. So Saz is in there, and then Ruin is in there for your physical fighter, which is kind of weird, right? Your physical fighter is using a magic spell. It's all screwed up. But and then Vanille has, I think she has like some kind of like poison or something. Or wait, no, I think what she does is she lowers magic defense. So you have Vanille lowers magic defense, Saz raises magic attack, and I think you can figure out what happens next. But yeah, that's pretty much the late game thing there. I wouldn't even remember, towards the end I would struggle with some of the battles and that, because once you get to the Grand Pulse, man, you do have to do some of those hunts. Some are mandatory to advance in the story, and some of those are pretty difficult. Um, I even went sometimes and looked up strats that other people had for that, and I would try their strat, and like it wouldn't work. I'd be like, "What kind of strat is this, dude? It's not even good." It didn't work for me anyway. Maybe it wasn't bad, but it didn't work for me. And I still have to create my own strat for the fight because like what I looked up online didn't work. And that was one of the things I really liked about that challenge was that almost every single battle you had to come up with a new strat because and it was you would think well what can you really do because you know all you have is you're so limited in what you can actually use for attacks in that game but when you're doing the no Crystarium thing but you have all of those what are they paradigms and so how those paradigms work against certain enemies um, or against enemies in general, they vary so much. So there's the range of combinations that you can do is pretty massive. And so when they built that game, they did a pretty good job when it came to the battle system and when it came to, you know, what the enemies can do, what you can do, and everything that is that surrounds the battle system. Because I mean, that was far and away the best thing in that game. They did a really good job of that. Um, but yeah, you have to. I had to create a whole new set of. I'd have to start from scratch every time I run into a new set of strong enemies that I'm required to beat, or a fight, whatever it is. Sometimes you could just outright skip enemies. I mean, you could. So one thing that I really screwed myself over on that I didn't realize until I went and started trying to find information about it late in the game, like at like gram pulse uh, type stuff, and I realized that I never farmed shrouds early in the game, and I just kind of went through the game and just played the game and tried to get as far as I could without spending any Crystarium points, and I kept on getting farther and farther and farther. But then when I did start looking information up after I was pretty far into the game, I realized that it's a pretty widely agreed strategy to farm shrouds in like the second level. You can pretty much just farm tons of shrouds. And so I didn't have that option. I didn't have very many shrouds. So that really limited my ability to. I mean, it just pushed me even further. So that made it even more challenging, and in the end, it was even more fun. So I had a lot of fun with that. That was pretty awesome. And that game has a lot of good music in it. There's a lot of crap too, but there is. I'd say. I mean, it's not like this. I mean, this whole soundtrack for this game that we're playing right now is just top notch. I mean, definitely one of the best soundtracks of the franchise. It's really good. 13, maybe somewhere between a third and a half of the songs are really pretty good. But that means a half to two-thirds of them are not that good, too. So, yeah, 13 has a lot of warts. Let's just leave it at that. Stupid goggles. I've really been unfortunate. Other than that one segment there where I got two in a row, I don't think I've gotten any. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna. So one thing that a guy notices when he's played as much of this game as I have is there are little things that you can kind of. Sometimes it's like the game gets locked in a pattern, right? You see that most painfully on the Veld because There's basically two ways to advance the formation. Not including, like, turning the game off and turning it back on again. You can fight a battle on the Veld, which is going to give you probably the formation you're expecting. Or you can leave the Veld, fight a battle somewhere else, come back to the Veld, and then you'll have reset that whole thing. Now what we're trying to do here is we're trying to steal Dragoon Boots, and it's not working. So one thing that I can do to try and change this RNG, which seems to be terribly fighting against me, is to change something. Now, we're going to do that. I don't know why I wasn't wearing that from the beginning, but that's one thing that we can do. So your success rate is basically, speed is the primary factor. I think it's something like your speed compared to their speed, and then you change a number, plus or minus something or other. And that varies based on the monster. But when you're super low level like this, oh, I never even checked. Yeah, Sester's level 6. So our average level is 6 right now, which means that we got through the Mega Rotors without making any mistakes. Our party's average level is 6 right now. And the average level at any given time is not super significant, but there are certain specific points where the average level does make a huge difference. And that's when someone rejoins the party. So for example, Celis left us when we were in the Magitech factory. And when she rejoins the party, her level is going to be reset. When she left us, I'm pretty sure she was still in level 5. Because that was the average level when we gained her. And she never gained any experience while she was with the party. But then she left the party, and when she rejoins the party, then her level will be recalculated to be that which is the average of our party level. And that's the way it works every time someone joins our party. They will come in, like if someone leaves and comes back. Now, the thing to remember is that Gao, when he is on the Veld and leaped onto the Veld, his level is not factored in when recalculating the party average. There we go, Dragoon Boots. Boom! Look at that. So, maybe it was luck, maybe it was coincidence, I don't know. But we had a long stretch of negative RNG, and I went in and put that headband on, which should have had from the very beginning, which does increase our speed, which does increase our odds of a successful steal, but I don't think it increases our odds of a rare steal. I think those are hard and fast numbers, rare versus common. I don't think you can modify those at this point in the game. But we did change something in the way the RNG is factored by changing our headgear. There are different numbers at play because I changed that piece of headgear. And sometimes, that's all you got to do. something simple like that. And I'm not gonna say that I can guarantee you and promise that the reason why I got um, that Dragoon boots on the first attempt after I changed the headgear was directly a result of me changing the headgear. But I will say that over all the time that I put into this game, there are just certain things a person can um, come to a conclusion on. Maybe all of the evidence is circumstantial, but it's I guess I would say it's more of a stretch to believe that the circumstantial evidence does not add up to what appears to be a logical end than it does to, well, basically what I'm saying is the circumstantial evidence is a little bit too big of a coincidence. And I think the people that would not believe in the circumstantial evidence and just discount it and say, it's all just circumstantial. I think they're doing themselves a disservice, and they're just ignoring something that seems to be pretty painfully obvious. That's just the way I see it. I mean, I don't have hard evidence to say me putting that headband on got me that pair of Dragoon boots, and it could surely have been a coincidence, but there we go. We got another pair of Dragoon boots. After all of that time where we were trying to steal, we can't steal nothing. Or we're failing over and over and over. Now, I change something. Now, granted, I should have had the headband because that's going to increase my odds just outright in having a successful steal. But having a successful steal hasn't been the problem. I've been stealing tons of goggles. I'm just saying, I think I did something that change that I did, not only does it improve my success rate, but it also changed the RNG. And when the RNG has been fighting against me for a while, changing that RNG is good because sometimes you need to make a change, and you gotta get, you gotta convince the game that, hey, let's re-roll those dice a little bit. I'm sick and tired of the same roll coming up over and over and over. Now, sometimes you want that same roll. You want it to get locked in on Dragoon boots. Like, that's what we're going for here. Let's get that RNG stuck on Dragoon boots. Now, if I knew a way to do that, we could be in and out of here in 15 harvesters or 14 harvesters, whatever it is. But I don't know how to do that. I wish I did. It's probably not possible to consistently and consecutively just pound out Dragoon boots at this stage of the game. I just don't think that you can do it. I think there might be a relic that you can get later in the game that allows you to just steal the rare item. I know there is in other Final Fantasy games. That might not have been something that they added yet. That just might not have been. I don't know. I kind of feel like it was in 7. that they had that, but they may not have. I don't know. I just don't remember. I think there is an item that you can get, a relic that you can get in this game that, or if it doesn't guarantee you that you'll get a rare steel, it at least increases the odds that you'll get a rare steel. There's some kind of relic you can get. I'm pretty confident about that. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna run on this grind here. Um, it's one of those things that it's probably best if I break it up, and even in the guide I do kind of break it up a little bit. But as far as me sitting here and grinding this out, I think, what do I have? 4 Dragoon boots. I still need 10 more. So, I mean, they kind of do come in streaks. I don't know what my longest consecutive Dragoon boots is, but 4 or 5 maybe, maybe 6. I don't think I got 7. I just remember there was this one run that I was like, not even believing it because it was just so many in a row. And I think that was on the console when I did that back in the holiday season of 2017, I think it was. This is 4.5 years ago. Right around Christmas time. That much I remember. For sure. I would like to get on one of those streaks, though, where I'm just, getting 4 out of 6 attempts. I'm pulling down Dragoon boots. If there is one thing that separates distinctively the way I go about collecting this money versus the time spent on the Veld, it's that we're in Zozo and the battle music is the regular battle music and the background music is the zozo music. So the music is, at least for me, much, much better. I don't really have a problem with the music on the Veld. It's just that after a while, that same song it starts to gnaw at my brain. And maybe some people feel that way about the Zozo music, but I'm really fond of the Zozo music. I don't know why, I like it a lot. I think it's one of the better tunes in the game. It's got that like cool harpsichord thing going on. I like it. It's one of the more, I mean, a lot of the music in this game is complex for video game music. It's like high-level, complex, 16-bit stuff. But this song in particular, it builds on itself pretty good. And it's just a catchy tune. So that's one thing. I can only listen to that music on the Velda for so long. It's just, I don't know. It's fine for a little while. And you know, a guy can always just mute that too. But I don't know. There's RNG involved in both. I would say that in game time, 100%, and it's not even in the realm of debate, is going to be way less by stealing the Dragoon boots. Because, you know, really you're trying one or two battles and then you're resetting if you're not getting what you're looking for. Um, so it's less time. Even with this like 3 to 5 second load window here every time you have to reset. I guess it's, I don't know, I haven't timed it out. Even if you add all of those up, it still is absolutely dwarfed by the amount of time spent on the Veld. Definitely in game time. And I still think that even if you add up all the time it would take to steal the 14 Dragoon boots, I think the real time ticker on this would still be less than getting the same amount of gold on the Veld. Because you could fight a lot of battles on the Veld that don't give you anything. I mean, you can try and kind of sweeten that pot a little bit. You know, I'm not really sure what's all in the Veld once you leave the Magitech factory. But also there's that risk, too, of, you know, you run into a really, really, really bad formation, you know. Which I guess isn't that big of a deal, so you just reset, I guess, right? It's no different than what I'm doing here. I don't know, I guess I never thought about that, you know. Just, yeah, no, you can't really do that because you can't advance the... You can't just spam the battles on the Veld because you have to fight battles or run away from them to advance the rotation. Otherwise, you're just stuck in the same cycle forever. Even if you reset the game, you're only going to be able to... You're not going to be able to move that cycle very far. It might move a little bit, but not enough to make it all the way around. There's only a handful of... So you remember the other day when I was talking about how think about it like there's a dozen cardboard boxes on the floor, and each box contains a number of cards, and each card represents a formation. Well, there's only, I think the way I understand it anyway, and I'm definitely not a, you know, an expert on the mechanics of the Veld. I have a basic understanding of how it works. I'm by no means an expert, but the way I understand it is that there are only a handful of those boxes that are eligible to be the first battle that you would encounter if you reset the machine. Like you're playing a game, you don't get the formation you want, so you hit the reset button on your Super Nintendo. That will change what the next battle will be, but what your next battle could be is limited. It's not the entire collection of all things that you have unlocked as far as formations. Not all formations are eligible to be your first battle. So you're really restricted there. And like for me, the one that's usually the most difficult one to get, consistently difficult, is Rhodox. And So that's why I collect all four formations that contain Rhodox, because that gives me a couple different. Because I'm pretty sure they're not all in the same cardboard box. I think there's a couple different containers that contain a Rhodox formation. And one of those containers, I think, carries three of them. And that one's a real challenge to get what you want sometimes. But the other one, it gives you another box to dip into. And I think that one's easier to get. But, I mean, easier, it's all relative because it's all RNG, so there's no concrete set in stone kind of thing there. It's all based on whatever comes up. It's just that some of those things are a lot easier to come up than others. The odds are much more weighted in one way or another. But what I do know is that the box that comes up right before Rhodox contains sand formations. So like the kind of monsters that you would run into in the sand around Figaro Castle, those are the formations that are going to show up in the round before the box that contains a Rhodox. So when I'm trying to find a Rhodox formation, I'll usually fight like one or two battles because you have to fight some in order to change your pattern. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't go in a specific order. It's not always like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It'll go like 1, 3, 4, 9. It doesn't go in a very specific order. It just advances, right? So you have to fight a couple of battles in order to advance that carousel. But for me, if I fight a battle and it's got and it used to be that I used to remember what the box was or the formations were going to be before the desert formation. So I would know the two previous groupings, and it's not always the same. It's just like an area, right? So there's probably like 5 or 6 or 7 formations that I might encounter in the desert, right? But I knew with those, and I'd recognize them when I saw them, and I'm pretty sure I used to know the ones before that. Couldn't even tell you what they are right now. But I want to say it's like, no, I don't even remember. Maybe Narshi monsters. But I think a lot of times Narshi monsters, you'll get a roll after that. It'll skip over the Rhodox box. There we go. Sweet. So it's complicated, and I'm not an expert, but I do have somewhat of a grasp on the basic fundamentals of it. Anyway, so I always target that desert formation. When I see a desert formation, I know that the next battle might be a Rhodox formation. And so that was one way that I would try and help myself to have more consistent good fortune in seeking that Rhodox formation. Marshall can be the first battle after a reset. Templar can be the first battle after a reset. Primordite can be the first battle after a reset. I guess it's theoretically possible that Rhodox could be, but I think it's almost impossible, and I think the only one that you could get, and I could be totally wrong about this, I don't know for sure, but for some reason I'm thinking in my mind's eye that the Rhinotar ×1 and Rhodox ×2 formation could theoretically come up as the first battle you encounter after a reset, but don't quote me on that because that might not be accurate. I just seem to have a memory of that happening once, but it might not be a true memory. It might be a false memory. So anyway, sometimes I would try little things like, move stuff around in my inventory, whatever I would do to try and uh, coax the game along so that it would give me one of those desert formations. Because then I knew I was guaranteed, even if I didn't get a Rodox in the next turn, it was at least going to be in a box that contained a Rodox formation. And that was the best that I could do. That was the closest thing I could get to a guarantee of anything as it pertained to Rodox. So sometimes just moving something around in your inventory, consuming an item, changing a piece of equipment, that can do a lot of different things when RNG is in play. Alright, well, let's see here. It is approaching 11:30 here. I think I'm just going to call it a night. I've been on this thing for like almost 3.5 hours, and I would consider it a great success. I beat the Mega Rotors in my 4th attempt today. Got to the boss on the 3rd and 4th attempt. Refined my strat for that a little bit. Or more like just probably remembered stuff. Got a little bit better with the muscle memory on it all. It's been so long since I really did anything with this. I was so rusty. I still am rusty. But that's fine. I have all intents on continuing on with this story, and I will put my next installment up, Lord willing, in the very near future. And until then, I hope everyone has been enjoying their time here. I suppose if you made it through all of this, you must be enjoying your time on some level. And, yeah, this is kind of a fun thing for me. I've never done it before. I hope other people think it's fun. That would be cool.